Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today, we're going to be going over some wildcard drafts for Game Week 6. So, if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, are you playing your wildcard this week, or have you already played it? Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into the video. So, starting things off, what I'm going to do is show two wildcard drafts in this video. One draft with 2 premiums and then a second draft with 3 premiums, both of which I think are still decent and have a lot of different players that are going to score you a lot of points over the next few game weeks. But either way, let's jump into the first draft. So as you can see, we have Sanchez and Steele in net. Pretty self-explanatory. A couple of keepers that a lot of people have at this point. Steele is obviously there just for backup, but Sanchez is pretty much a staple on a lot of people's teams at the moment and has some nice fixtures coming up as well. Crystal Palace away, Arsenal at home, and Norwich away. And obviously, we've got some pretty good defensive records for Brighton so far this season. I mean, they were unlucky yesterday against Leicester, still won 2-1, but yeah, did not get the clean sheet for Sanchez there, which was unfortunate. However, though, they do then have City and Liverpool, which are two of the probably worst fixtures in the season. You're not going to get many points from those games, hoping that he makes about 16 saves to make up for all the goals that they're going to concede, but it's just what it is. You just have to deal with those kind of game weeks. But then, of course, it goes Newcastle, Villa, and Leeds. So really a decent keeper option for the next few weeks. You could go with Sarr, the Wolves keeper, but I don't know. The display that they had the other day, I'm just not completely settled on like doubling up on Wolves defense at the moment. However, the back line, we have Rudiger, Trent, Alonso, and Marcel. Now, Trent is obviously, he missed the last game week because he was ill. Now, I don't think that is COVID. I think he generally just wasn't feeling very well because there hasn't been any reports in having COVID. So hopefully he should be back for the next game week. And of course, if you sell Trent this week and then he is back, he's just going to get you like a lot of points. He just always does. But we've doubled up on Chelsea defense. So we have Rudiger and Alonso. So obviously, Chelsea defense, they do have a tough fixture next, which is of course City at home. But then after that, they have Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, and Leicester. Of course, a lot of people are going to be bringing in Chelsea players for Game Week 7, so I think a lot of people are going to be wildcarding next week. But of course, price rises are a thing. A lot of people are going to be bringing in, like I say, those players after this game week. So do you want to be ahead of the curve? Like, I don't know. It's very much, do you think they're going to do well against City? Like, they could easily beat City 2-0. They absolutely smashed Spurs last night, 3-0 away from home. Chelsea are the team to beat this season, and I think they could easily get a clean sheet against City. I think Chelsea will win like 1-0 or something. So if you get some points from that game, happy days, because you've then got a really good set of fixtures. You've beat all the price rises. So a Chelsea double up in defense, I think, is definitely the way forward for the next few game weeks for sure. We have Marcel from Wolves, as I just said. Not completely convinced about Wolves defense, but they do still have some really good fixtures coming up. Southampton, Newcastle, Villa, and then Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Norwich, Burnley. Like, they didn't play very well, let's be honest, against Brentford. But Brentford have a really, really good defensive record. And obviously, Tony just played really well. It was a penalty. Marcel, not a very good challenge at all. Don't know what he was doing there, marking Tony. He's like half the height of him. But yeah, did give the pen away, and then obviously they conceded a second. Jimenez could have scored, but he just doesn't seem to be in the form that he was before he obviously had that horrible accident. And then we have this Norwich defender as well, one of the, I think, the only 3.9 million defender there. So he's just in there at the moment just to save you a little bit of money. You could go with Livramento if you have a couple of extra funds, just because you know he does play and he is nailed at the moment. Or you could go for Brandon Williams, who again is nailed. But if you need the money, you can always go for this player here. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because it will backfire considerably, but he is only 3.9 mil. Next up with the midfield, we have Salah, Benrahma, Rafinha, Gray, and Sarr. So Salah obviously has to be in the team, a staple. And then we have Benrahma, who, again, a lot of people have kind of transferred him out, and now a lot of people are transferring him in again. A little bit of a knee-jerk because he did score 10 points yesterday. Their next fixtures are Leeds, Brentford, Everton, Tottenham, and then Villa. They're pretty good fixtures, to be fair. And then the fixtures obviously get really, really good around game week 14, well, 16, I'd say, because I've got Chelsea there, unfortunately. So I think a lot of people are going to be tripling up on West Ham around these kind of game weeks. But Benrahma, I mean, I think he's just someone you can hold for a while, to be fair. You know, he seems to be nailed. They didn't bring Lingard in the transfer window, so he seems to have kind of, yeah, nailed on for that number 10 role. So maybe he's a good option. I don't know. 6.4. He's probably just going to keep rising. He did obviously start the season at 6 mil, so a lot of people are still bringing him in. But next up, we have Rafinha. We all know that the Leeds fixtures are going very, very well at the moment. Now, he is obviously an injury concern, but hopefully we do get something in a press conference before the deadline. He should be okay. He did play against Newcastle, did come off earlier on like the 60th minute or something like that. But I mean, Rafinha is just such a good option, especially with the fixtures that have got coming up as well. So as long as he's not injured, he should be all right. Next up, we've got Demarai Gray. Obviously didn't return yesterday or the weekend or whatever, Saturday. But obviously does have Norwich at home next, then United, West Ham, Watford, Wolves, Tottenham. The fixtures are kind of hit or miss for Everton at the moment. They just don't seem that good. The only reason he's brought in is because he's stapled. He seems to be getting forward quite a lot, and he's very, very cheap. But obviously, you could easily downgrade him to Sissoko and then maybe upgrade Rafinha to like Grealish or something like that if you do have the funds, if you did want to bring in a City player. But of course, City fixtures not great at the moment for the next couple game weeks. So I don't know if you really want to jump on that. Obviously, Pep Roulette's a big thing. A lot of people were bringing in Torres, and now he didn't even play last game week. He should play against Chelsea next. So if you do have Torres at the moment, I mean, who knows? We'll have to see. I don't think he's going to get anything from that game. And then finishing things off in the midfield, we do have Sarr. Obviously, a big haul at the weekend. Did get a price rise, 6.1 now. Obviously, I already had him in my team, though, which is why he's only 6 for me. Has Newcastle, Leeds, Liverpool, Everton, Southampton, Arsenal. Not terrible fixtures, really, but he is a pretty good hold at the moment. He is on pens, so a 6 mil player on pens, stapled, getting forward as much as he does. I think he's a really, really good option. And again, you could just kind of play Gray on the weeks that Sarr's not very good fixtures if you really wanted to. And then the up front, we have Bamford, Antonio, and Lukaku. Again, Bamford, same as Rafinha, has some really good fixtures. Hasn't really done much this season to kind of warrant a lot of people bringing him in. But hopefully he does change that around, and of course he is on pens. Antonio as well, he is back now. He is still in fine form, again, scored in the Europa League. And I think a lot of people are going to jump on him again now that he's back. A lot of people have already transferred him in this week, and his fixtures, just like Ben Rama, pretty good over the next few game weeks. And West Ham were unlucky, to be fair, against United. I mean, what a game, what a finish. Obviously, United scoring with Lingard, who else? And then De Gea saving that penalty again. I don't know why I brought on Noble, but if Antonio was playing that game, he would have been on that pen. Probably would have scored it. 2-2, different game, but you know, it is what it is. And then finishing off Lukaku, again, just like Rudiger and Alonso. Do you bring him in this week? Will he score against City? He has a really good set of fixtures. He's already 11.6. He's probably going to go up to 11.7. However, though, the good thing is Ronaldo also went up to, I think, 12.7 now. So if you are holding on Ronaldo and then you're going to downgrade to Lukaku, luckily you did get that 0.1 price rise with Ronaldo as well. But anyway, that is the first draft. If I had my wild card, I would go with this. I think that Alonso is just nailed now, and he's just such a good asset. I think he's got more points than Trent now as well. He did obviously get the assist, and yeah, he had his shot cleared off the line. Like, Alonso is a really good asset, and then Rudiger as well, stapled, and Chelsea defense are just incredible at the moment. So yeah, that is the first draft. The next draft is this one. This is with the 3 premium players. Again, still in goal, we have Sanchez or Steele. Exact same reason as before. Not going to go over that. We've got Ben White next. Ben White, obviously 4.4 at the moment. He might go up to 4.5. A lot of people are bringing him in. They do obviously have really good fixtures. They've got Tottenham at home. Tottenham and just... I think Arsenal can win that game. You know, Arsenal have found a little bit of form, you know, clean sheets. Tottenham lost their last 2 3-0 both games. I know they played Chelsea, but obviously lost to Crystal Palace. Did have a man sent off, but I think Arsenal-Tottenham will be a really good game, and I think both teams need to win that game. So, yeah, White could be a good option for that. And then obviously they've got Brighton, Crystal Palace, Villa, Leicester, and then Watford. So, yeah, we all know that the Arsenal fixtures do obviously get better. And obviously if you do want to jump on a player, if you don't have enough for like Tierney and stuff, which I think is a much better option, but obviously they just don't have the money. So White is right there. Again, the Norwich defender, not going to try and pronounce his name, 3.9 just for some extra money. Alonso, already been over that. And then Livramento. Livramento is just, he's an exciting player, and they've got some really, really good fixtures coming up. So if you don't have Livramento and you're on your wild card, bring him in, because they've got Wolves, then they've got Chelsea, where you're obviously not going to play him for that game, but then they have Leeds, Burnley, Watford, Villa, and then Norwich, and you can play him in all of those games, and he's probably going to return in like 2 of those games. So I think Livramento is a really good option. 4.1, like, why wouldn't you bring him in? And then we've obviously got Salah, Gray again, Rafinha, Sissoko, Sarr. I mean, Sissoko's obviously playing 90 minutes every game now. He did score a couple for Newcastle way back when. but he is nailed. He's just a 4.5 option. You could go Basuma if you wanted as well, just to mix it up a little bit. So you could maybe, I don't know, alternate between Star and Basuma if you wanted to. But Gray's there as well. And then Rafinha. And then up front, we have Saint Maximin, who's obviously just at a price rise, 6.7, Lukaku, and Ronaldo. Ronaldo's an interesting one. He scored 4 in 3, but his fixtures do get really, really bad, which is why a lot of people are downgrading him to Lukaku. Obviously, Villa at home is going to be a very good fixture, but then Everton's even going to be a good fixture. A lot of people are going to hold on Ronaldo for this fixture here, but then they've obviously got Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, City, Watford, and then Chelsea. But then obviously their fixtures go incredible. Like, this is a ridiculous fixture run. They've got Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Norwich, Brentford. Like, if you're not tripling up on Man United game week 14 onwards, then I mean, look at all that. That's nearly 14 game weeks of just good fixtures. You know, that's just ridiculous. So yeah, Ronaldo, Shaw, maybe Greenwood there as well if you're tripling up. But honestly, just a ridiculous set of fixtures. There's still 0.1 in the bank with this as well. But obviously, there are certain players that have had price rises, had price drops and stuff like that. So it depends if you have the money to bring them in. But yeah, this is basically my 3 premium wildcard draft, which I think is still decent, to be fair. You've got some good defenders in Trent and Alonso, and then you've got Ben White. You can easily like rotate with Ben White and Livramento as well. Like I say, Livramento's fixtures go really, really good soon. And then Salah, Rafinha, Sarr, and Gray. I mean, you're going to have to play with some pretty not great midfielders if you do want 3 premiums in this team. St. Maximin's up front as well, doing okay at the moment. And then Lukaku and Ronaldo. So this is if you wanted the 3 premiums up front, but I don't think Ronaldo's worth having with these fixtures coming up personally. I'd much rather opt for dropping Ronaldo to Lukaku, bringing in Antonio, and then obviously your midfield is a lot better, your defense is a lot better, because Rudiger and Alonso at the back is, I mean, when they have those really good fixtures, it's kind of not guaranteed, but you're going to have a very good chance of just getting like 12 points every game just from those 2. And like I say, Rudiger scored, Alonso should have scored. They're just, their options are just crazy. So yeah, definitely tripling up on Chelsea. It is what it is. But I'll probably take a -4 next game week to bring in some more Chelsea players. I might roll a transfer this week and then bring in 3 Chelsea players. I'll see what's happening. But anyway, they are my wildcard drafts for game week 6. I'll obviously make one for next week because next week's the big one where a lot of people are going to be playing that wildcard. But I wanted to make this one this week just in case you want to get ahead of the curve and obviously get in these players before all the price increases and everything like that. But that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, peace.